just kind of funny. You see, it's so, you know, it seems so dead out here, right? It's just sand. Half the bushes look like they're dying. But I think they come in at different times. You know, these are looking pretty green. These, not yet, but they might come in now that it has rained. You know, it's kind of just random. And then I'll be looking around and little, I don't know, grass maybe? You know, suddenly it'll just start popping up right there. And, you know, the giant ants, those things are about half an inch long. They're funny. Yeah, if you look around down low, there is a bunch of little green leaves popping in here. And I just happened to see this one. And I'm getting to the point now, if I do see something like this, I get a shot of it as soon as I can, because before it blooms, the rabbit will come eat it or something like that. And it's just, you know, but some of the bushes will just start blooming and stuff. Last year, and I'm waiting to see if they come back or not, there was just huge bushes of flowers in here, you know. And like all this little grass here is starting to come up. You know, you don't think of that. I remember the first time I saw a blade of grass coming up. It's like, how does that even happen? You know? These guys are going strong. Some of, where was it? These are the ones, the same as that last one, that will grow the seed pods. Yeah, here we go. So that seed pod, I'm not sure if that's in focus. That's a new thing. That was a big ball of pollen that I was breathing a couple weeks ago, and then all of a sudden I see these pods popping up, and they're everywhere. Apparently those are edible. I can't remember. I think I tried one. I wasn't too impressed, but maybe if you cooked them or something like that. You'd spend a lot of time out here in the desert looking for those things, but there is a lot that will grow on a bush like this, so I might try it this year just to see. And if I cook them like beans or something like that, you'd probably burn more calories harvesting them than you would by eating them. 6:09 on the 5th of June. Okay, 6:09 on June 6th. Okay, it's evening on the 8th of June. I'm going to say Milipede. I never can get these right. 4 or 5 inches long anyway. You'll only see them after a rain. Like if it hasn't rained for a while, you won't see them, so they'll eventually get caught out in the sun and then they just die, I think. What's funny is, like, the first time I ever came out here camping, I had one of these walk past me. So it must have rained within a week of when I came out camping, but I didn't see any signs of rain, so it didn't even occur to me that it could rain out here. But after the fact, then you see them and you're like, oh, yeah, it has rained recently. But the other funny thing, when he goes through kind of soft soil, like the really silty stuff, they leave tracks, little 2 parallel tracks from all their feet. I used to see the tracks all the time. I'm like, what the heck leaves that? They must not taste good, because I've never seen a bird take one. They just cruise around and try to figure out where they are. They don't seem to see very much, so little sensor's going, I guess. If you bump them or scare them, they'll just curl up in a ball. I don't like doing that, though. No reason to harass them, but I've seen him on bushes a lot too, so he's probably looking for the next bush. Pretty cool. Whoa. This would have to be my favorite kind of flower. The one that just happens all by itself. I didn't water it, I didn't plant it. I don't think this was blooming yesterday. It just popped all at once this morning, so it's kind of cool. Just about to get some sunshine. Yeah, they are happy. Yeah, I finally cleaned the dish for them a few days ago. That was pretty gross. I picked a really windy day when they weren't flying very much and got it all cleaned out and back in again, so. Yeah, the washcloth they seem to like. It wicks the water up and then they just drink it right out of the washcloth instead of getting right down into the water. Sometimes that works better for them, so. Yeah, just another beautiful day in paradise. Gonna be about 104 today. Yeah, it's that time of year, I guess. Okay, it's 7:54 on the, I just looked at the sun, now I can't see. On the 10th, right? Yeah. 7:54 on the 10th. Just walking out to switch the battery over, and the sun is just about to set. I just wanted to get a shot of this, so, because I always forget to mark sunsets, because you never see it. Yeah, it is like right on the cusp right now. Okay, so I'm gonna let that run. I'm gonna switch over my batteries. The reason I'm getting this now is just in case I forget later. Today's the 10th, so we got 11 days until equinox, or solstice, or one of those things. Solstice, I think. Now, over here by the bees, who are looking very good. There's 2 blooms on this one. That's the pretty purple ones. It's the first one of those I think I've seen. Just one on there. A lot of these green cactuses are looking more green again. Like you got the definite purple, but they're also, that shade is turning more to green. So they're starting to recover. Yeah, this one really is looking a lot healthier now. It's got much less of the purple tint to it. It's got a bunch of new growth coming in too. It's looking good. That one's got some buds. Maybe in a couple days. Yeah, check this out. I was seeing this from back at the house, and I was like, man, I gotta get out and get a shot of this. So the blooms are basically gone, but the entire stalk is leaved. That's crazy. A little bit of the blooms are left. Yeah, the thorns are still in there, so it's like the entire thing is just, it's like sap running down. That's cool. I do not remember how long this will last, so this is the 11th of June. How cool is that? This thing is popping, it's got seed pods all over it. And these are the ones that are supposedly edible. So I'm going to try to remember to experiment with that. Yeah, those are just, it's all brand new growth. You can see the difference in the color of the wood. And down at the bottom it's all craggly. Bunch of ants running up and down. Cool. So it's got like a whole line all the way around. That's pretty cool. So if we get the picture before the rabbits get them all. About 6:20, June 21st. So not quite to the peak. From here it goes back to the right. Yeah, I just wanted to mark it. Kind of hazy today. It's supposed to be really windy. Of course, I'm taking the bike to town today, but if we can believe the forecast, the wind will be a crosswind, so that won't be so bad. It'll actually maybe cool me off instead of blowing me over. Okay, it's about 7:30 in the morning on the 25th of June. I just kind of want to remember sometimes it's nice out here. I got some clouds in the morning. It's not 1,000,000 degrees yet. Just kind of picking my steps here. Don't fall in the hole, don't step on the snake, you know, normal kind of stuff here, right? Anyway, whoa, speaking of hole, yeah, everybody digs out here. Find a spot where I'm not going to fall in. These guys are just super blooming right now. And if you look out, the yellow blooms are pretty much everywhere. Now, obviously there's, you know, sand piles in between, but it's just kind of cool seeing this stuff when it's actually alive. Because a lot of this, you know, for half the year, you know, it'll look like that one. It's just all scraggly and stuff. And the first year, these ones are kind of cool too. I don't know what they are. It's a different kind of plant. But you'll see one of those every now and then. I guess I was just, you know, when I first came out here, I was just amazed at the diversity. You know, it's not just sage or it's not just mesquite. You know, so like this guy and that one, and there's another one there. And then there's one with a bigger leaf. It's a different kind of a plant. I don't know jack about this, but there's another one over there that's really doing good. This area is where the water would run. Earlier this year, I pumped about 300 or 400 gallons of water out of a hole I dug over there. Okay, so this does run. So all of the biggest trees are in this line, and if we look down, there's bigger trees down here. That's in the same line. So this is kind of a low point that runs down. And then over there, you got some pretty big ones again, right? So, like looking at the ground, all this stuff is starting to grow. So, if you didn't have cattle completely overgrazing the land, and if you got a little bit of rain, this could recover, you know. It's just kind of cool to see. Let me pick up my trash. I will have just random... I am still finding pieces of a green tarp that disintegrated 3 or 4 years ago. You know, that kind of thing, right? Also, at the moment, the wind is not blowing. So that's worth noticing. I don't know if that bug showed up. There's this giant beetle bug. I don't know what it is. There it is again. Yeah, kind of an orange butt. Those things fly. It's almost like... I'm hearing the road. I'm like, what the heck is that? Some of the bugs look like birds almost. This was the other hole that I dug that filled up with water, and anything around it is picking up. You know, so we'll start to see there's roots that are coming into here. So if I had left the water in here, these things all would have taken off more. But so that's part of the plan. As I get time, dig more holes all over, and some of them I will just leave because the water If the water comes across and just runs, it just goes shooting down the valley. Doesn't have time to soak in. So if I can dig a few holes and let the water sink in, then everything around it will perk up. Like these. These look totally dead a month ago, right? All of a sudden they're getting leaves popping up. You know. So it's in there. And then like down in there, there's some grass growing. And like here, right? It just doesn't seem like that should be happening out here. You know, there's all the leaves in there. That's growing pretty good. Again, there was water that ran through here, right? It's just kind of cool. So if they hadn't to spend 100 years overgrazing this area, it might actually be alive. This one's doing really good, and you can see the seed pods. Those are apparently edible. So you wait for them to dry, and I don't know, I guess you can cook them like beans or something, I'm not sure. I tried eating one raw, I wasn't too impressed, but I don't know what this is. That was a bloom. Now it turned all black, that's kind of weird. But like that, that's 8 feet high or so. It's growing pretty good, but again, it's in the creek. Out here, it looks like a desert again. Anyway, not 1,000,000 degrees yet. A little bit of shade from the clouds. No wind. Sometimes I just look back at these clips and remember it's not always that way.